Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan and it's a pleasure to meet and speak to the one and only former super lightweight world champion Chris Algieri ahead of his fight with the destroyer Conor Benn on the 11th of December in Liverpool. Chris, first of all, how's life?
Good. Ayman, nice to meet you. Things are
Nice to
going
meet
well
you.
over here, though.
Say again, sorry?
I said things are going well over here.
Good to hear. Chris, I noticed you'd posted up one of my favorite fights ever on your social media. That was you in your incredible effort in capturing the WBO world title against Ruslan Provodnikov. You posted that up a day or two ago. What was the significance of that post the other day?
I was actually inspired by Kambosos and his fight against Teofimo Lopez. So there was in that fight kind of reminded me certain aspects of my fight with Ruslan being a big underdog, sticking to the game plan, fighting with discipline, and getting the victory. So that was kind of a little nostalgic moment.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you boxed incredibly well that night 7 years ago, but how close do you feel to being that fighter that you were in the ring that day to the fighter that you are now?
Well, I think I'm actually a lot better. I'm a lot smarter. I'm a lot stronger. A lot more seasoned, obviously. But that fight, that was my first real big fight. And I made a mistake early. That fight could have been easy, and I said it right afterwards. That fight could have been easy. I made it hard for myself in that first round. So for me, I think being smarter is a big part of who I am now, as opposed to when I was then. So, yeah.
You've been a key proponent for nutrition with your own brand, Chris, as well. In the time that you've been involved in fight sports, how do you feel the nutritional side of the fight game has progressed, and how key is it to maintaining peak performances? At this stage in your career.
I think it's progressing very slowly. Honestly, I don't think there's a lot of guys who are really doing it the right way. I think there's a lot of those coaches who throw a towel over their shoulder, and now they're gurus and whatnot. But it's been a huge part of my career, not only in the beginning where I was late to the sport and decided that if I was going to, I had 0 amateur fights. Right? My first boxing match was my pro debut. And then by my 20th fight, I'm a world champion. I think that me being a great athlete and being on top of my training, nutrition, and my health and my lifestyle was able to fill the gaps that I had in early in my career. And I think at the tail end of my career, I think it's what's keeping me here and fresh and young. I'm 37 years old, but I don't feel it at all. And I think a lot of that has to do with the lifestyle, nutrition, and what I put into my body.
Yeah, that's one of the key criticisms coming into this fight, is that your age is one of the key factors that might play into the fight. Do you feel that the nutritional side means that, and that the way that you've kept yourself means that won't play a factor where it might with other people's careers?
Yeah, I don't feel it at all. The kids in my gym, that's what I call them now, kids, the 23, 24, 25-year-olds, they say like, man, you're like one of us. Like, you're getting younger every week. And, as I get in better shape and the way I perform, and that's one thing coming again later in my career now, I'm much more on top of monitoring myself, my heart rate, my VO2 max, things like that. Honestly, I mean, I have numbers very similar to 20-year-olds. So I'm really not concerned about the age.
No worries. Chris, you've mentioned in the lead up to this fight with Conor that you're saying that you're going to put on a masterclass performance, and the gap between you and Conor for him is too big to jump. Can you elaborate more on what that gap resembles in terms of in-ring ability?
Yeah, I mean, I think people have seen me at the highest level. They know what I can bring to the table. They know the skill sets that I have. And I think that just building on all of that, adding in now that I feel like I'm a lot stronger now. I think that my conditioning is as good as it's ever been, and just understanding the space in the ring, is definitely something that I've improved on over the years. I just feel smarter and more aware, at this stage. So it's going to be my goal and my mission to show all of those new wrinkles that I've developed over these last couple of years, and in the gym and in fights, and like you said, show that gap.
What do you feel then, Chris, that Conor does do well in the ring from the tape that you have studied from him?
I think he's a good athlete. Conor's a good athlete. He's explosive. He's a physically strong guy. He's a try hard, is what we say over here, in the States. he's hungry, he's energetic, he's gonna go for it, and I think he's got a big heart and a lot of drive, but he hasn't been tested all that much yet. There hasn't been a lot of resistance from the guys that he's fought, and I think that's where we're going to be able to capitalize.
Speaking to Adrian Granados last time, Conor's last opponent, he kind of felt that Conor was the UK's golden boy, to the one being positioned as the next pay-per-view star for greatness on these shores. Mm-hmm. Is that the feeling over the other side of the pond, and is that the feeling that you share, Chris?
No, it's not the feeling over here. It's definitely not the feeling that I share. That may be the case. He might be able to do that, but I'm not looking at it like that. I don't. He still has a long way to go in order to be mentioned amongst the future greats of the welterweight division, because there's a ton of studs over here. So I think it's just early. It's early to start talking like that.
And in terms of, again, you kind of playing it out in the ring, how do you feel Conor is as a boxer in pure boxing terms? How do you feel Conor's style plays out there?
I haven't seen a whole lot of that yet, so it's hard to say. I don't like to make assumptions on anyone's style. I'm not big on watching tape because boxing is about rhythm. You really can't tell rhythm from a tape. When you're in there, it's different. So it's going to be about just figuring him out early on, just like every other fight I've ever been in my entire life. Just figuring the guy out early, finding my rhythm, and going to work.
Final one away from the fight for me before I bring it back to you. Your former foe, Amir Khan, returns to the ring against longtime rival Khan-Brook. How do you see that fight going?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how the fight's going to go. I don't think they've lost the things that make them special. Khan is still super fast. Kel still hits hard. They've both been chinned in recent years. So it's really going to be who's going to look the most like they're at their prime or closest to it. I think is going to take that fight. I think it's always been an interesting fight. I think it's a great matchup. Interesting clash of styles. I'm looking cool that they're fighting.
And final thing from me, Chris, before I let you go, let me get your prediction for your fight with Conor Benn. Tell me what happens when you two get into the ring.
The only thing I'm going to say is I'm going to win.
Been a pleasure.
I don't care how it comes. I'm going to win.
Been a pleasure speaking to you, Chris. One ticked off from my list, especially with that fight I saw a number of years ago. Absolutely great fight. So thank you so much for speaking to Boxing Social. Looking forward to seeing you in the ring.